cut short to allow you to see other veins. Take, for example, neither of these are femoral or tibial. Right here's femoral, right here, going behind the knee to become popliteal. So we're not concerned with that. What we're concerned with then is that knowing that these then are not deep veins, these are those superficial veins, ones just beneath the skin.
Okay.
So that means this one must be small saphenous and great saphenous. They do the same thing up in the arm. Here's the axillary vein which has been cut short, which means that there's no brachial vein, no radial vein, no ulnar vein, which means these two major veins must again be the superficial ones. Basilic vein on the medial side, cephalic on the lateral side. All right. Then, don't even try with the neck up here. This model has assumed that his neck is so turned to the right that some of his jugulars are being blocked by other jugulars. That throws everyone off, so don't even worry about it. That can be easily tested on like the torso much more clearly. So, if we know then all these superficial veins, which is the best, the only place I can ask these, the only other way I can really use this model well is to have you name those hepatic portal vessels, right? So, for example, we were going over this a bit before. What organ is this?
That's the spleen.
That's the spleen, which means the purple one coming across must be
the splenic vein.
Splenic, exactly, or splenic, either way. Now, let's look at our list of veins here. We've got inferior mesenteric and a superior mesenteric. The inferior mesenteric, we say, drains into splenic, whereas the superior mesenteric merges with splenic. So, for example, this little short nub right here that's really, really short, that's inferior mesenteric. Which makes sense because the name splenic is going to be true all the way across. But then this is going to merge with splenic. That means this one must be superior mesenteric vein. Once those two have merged together, there's now a big purple one here going into the liver. Which one would that be then?
Hepatic portal.
Exactly, hepatic portal vein. That brings you to the capillary beds where the blood is filtered, and then now you go to leave the liver through these hepatic veins. That brings you back into inferior vena cava, which will next go into the heart. The right atrium of the heart. There you go.
Okay.
So even though there's a lot on here, that
is what
I'm going to focus on, just because everything else, the leg ones can be asked on the leg, the arm ones can be asked on the arm, other abdominal ones can be asked on the torso. So feel free to now ask whatever else you want to look at, but that's what I'm going to use this model for.
This right here is kind of confusing me a little bit. Because this one would be the superior, and this one is the inferior.
Right. Now, here's the thing. The large intestine begins here and ends over here. Superior mesenteric drains all of the small intestine and the beginning of the large. The beginning of the large is on this side. Inferior mesenteric only drains the end of the large. Well, the end of the large is on this side. Therefore, it makes sense that even though one looks more superior, they're kind of equally superior and inferior. When it comes to where we know they take blood from, this one has to be superior because this is where the beginning or proximal end of the large intestine is, and this one has to be inferior because that's where the distal or end of the large intestine is. So knowing the anatomy in general allows us to say with certainty, like, yes, superior mesenteric vein, inferior mesenteric vein.
Got it.
Okay?
Alrighty. Perfect.